Oh, glad to have you back. And let's move on straight, of course, to discuss stories making the national dailies headlines this morning. We have in the house a very learned personality, a man of integrity, a man who's got so much going for him. He is an actor, a journalist, a public affairs analyst. Go ahead and call him whatever you want to call him. He's got all that working for him. I'm talking about Roy Ekwunife. Mr. Roy, good morning.
Yeah, you can go ahead and call me anything, but don't call me a treasury looter. I'm Roy Ekwunife. Good morning. Oh, please don't.
When you look at you, you're looking very, very dope this morning.
Oh,
and one of the reasons why people look dope is when they loot the treasury. Right?
But unfortunately, I didn't loot any treasury.
Don't treasury, right?
No. Yeah.
All right, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Well, let's kickstart with stories making the headlines on our ABS website.
Trackers initiate raffle draw, unveils prizes. Anambra workers comply with organized labor warning strike directive. ABS Managing Directors Forum holds. Flood, Mrs. Obiano calls for adequate welfare of pregnant women, nursing mothers in holding centers. Southeast governments urged to forge stronger economic ties. Independence anniversary, FG declares Monday next week public holidays.
Well, interesting stories making the headlines.
Yes.
Do we start from the top or the bottom?
Let me start from the trackers. Yeah, unveiling a raffle draw. I think it's good. It motivates people. At times, they call it try your luck.
Try your luck.
Try your luck. And then when you win, I mean, it's a kind of a motivation and it's a plus. And then the second one, the Anambra State
Comply with the organized labor.
They're complying with the strike.
Warning
I think every other state of the federation is complying because it's necessary. Their demand is a legitimate demand, even when it's not about Anambra State. It's a nationwide affair. Talking about the new minimum wage as proposed by the labor, and the last meeting ended in a deadlock. And because of that, the warning strike started yesterday, and even on the roads, you can feel the impact of the strike. But I'm calling on the federal government and labor to, strike a balance, and then call off the strike as is an A-wind that does nobody any good. So the moment they strike out a balance and then call off the strike, the federal government will lose a lot. When people are not working, it will culminate in economic losses, unquantifiable economic losses. Yeah. So I think the best thing to do is to dialogue over the matter and then charge a new front, and then
a new course.
People will go back to work.
Let's see, we're not talking about flooding. Miss Obiano calls for adequate welfare of pregnant women. Mothers,
so many mothers give birth at the holding centers. And we want to thank the state government, SEMA, State Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, National Emergency Management Agency, for providing the safe environment. And then we are calling on the people in the riverine areas to relocate to the holding centers, because some of them are still there. Some even say that water is their mother. That is their mother that is visiting with that deluge. But I think it's inimical, so they should relocate to the holding centers. And then I want to commend the wife of the state governor, Chief Mrs. Obiano DMA, for taking good care of him and for acting when it's necessary, for doing the needful. So that's all I have to say for that now.
All right, Southeast government urged to forge stronger economic front.
Yeah, you see, they say when you aggregate or when you coalesce, you work in unison. So it's very necessary so that they should come together, chart a common front, so that even when they want to make any demand, they will have a very veritable platform to drive home any demand, to press home any demand they are making. So I think I will just submit that it's a step in the right direction. Yeah.
All right. we know that on Monday next week is the Independence Day, and the federal government has declared public holiday for
Nigeria
Monday.
At 58.
Yes, Nigeria at 58.
Very much.
Well, it calls for sober reflection. It calls for introspection. It calls for periscoping into history. It calls for dissecting, the corporate existence of Nigeria for the past 58 years.
Really?
How have we fared? What we want to achieve. We look at the indivisibility of the nation, and then look at how we will contribute positively as a patriotic citizens of the country. Let me just say happy independence anniversary to us Nigerians, to all of us.
Happy independence. I think I enjoyed that part of the dissecting and the retrograde. Let me not cut my tongue. All right, let's move on to the next papers. Daily Times stories making the headlines on the Daily Times this morning.
Banner headline said minimum wage workers complying with labor as strike paralyzes state. CJN judges, lawyers locked out as judicial workers shut down courts. Government delay will not only prolong the nationwide strike. Organized labor, they are talking right here. Osun governorship poll, PDP kicks as INEC declares APC candidate Oyetola winner. CBN, how 182 financial institutions became insolvent distressed. All marketers urge FG to pay 650 billion naira subsidy arrears. Giver primaries, APC disqualifies Communication Minister Mama Taraba and 6 others. Magu wants looters to return stolen funds or face persecution. All right, we're still talking about the minimum wage and the workers complying.
I know you're interested in that.
But I think it's about being interested. It's what's crippling, the nation generally now. Everyone complying to it.
Yeah.
Now, talking about judicial workers locking the courts. And then the judges
court proceedings and the like.
A responsible government should be responsive to the yearnings and aspirations of its citizens. You see, the workers, they generate all these funds. They work, they generate the funds. So, depriving them of a reasonable take-home pay at the end of the day tantamounts to, marginalizing the goose, that lays the golden egg. So, if the government should be responsive and responsible enough to hearken to the clarion call of the labor leaders, and they do the needful.
All right, before we move on to the governorship poll in Osun State, just to let you know that this is quite interactive. The numbers are on your screen. Call us and tell us what you feel about the various headlines of the national newspapers we are talking about this morning. Now let's move on. Osun governorship poll, PDP kicks as INEC declares APC candidate Oyetola winner. We know there was a rerun election. We know what happened in the first election and the rerun election. But now, APC has been declared winner Oyetola, and PDP kicks against it.
Oh, well, you see, INEC is the final arbiter and the unbiased umpire in this aspect. Having declared the APC candidate winner of the now concluded election. Prior inconclusive election winner of the election. Well, it behoves PDP to go to court. It's the legitimate role of the judiciary to interpret the Constitution. Anywhere you feel threatened, marginalized, or you see things not working out, it behoves you to go to court and challenge it. So PDP has every right. Even before the election held yesterday, they went to court to challenge the previous inconclusive aspect of the election on the grounds that the 1999 Constitution is superior to the Electoral Act, which INEC invoked to declare the election inconclusive. So, in a nutshell, PDP, if they don't like the result, they should go to court and challenge the result of the election.
Talking about election, let's look at this Giver primaries. APC disqualifies Communications Minister Mama Taraba and 6 others.
Why were they disqualified?
All right.
I think that's
That
a
we'll find out.
Well, yes, you can get that on page 5. But one of the communication minister, it was more of the NYSC scandal, because according to him, he actually he missed it. He decided not to serve because when the Adeosun saga happened, it was like he had reasons why he also missed it. But now, he was vying for governorship and he was screened out.
All right, let's believe that is one of the reasons.
Okay. And then it's all about, cleaning the Ojin stable for a healthy society to emerge. So if he's as guilty as charged, well, the federal government has done the needful. Let's leave it at that.
All right, finally, Magu wants looters to return stolen funds or face prosecution.
Wow. You see, every day we talk about stolen fund, returning stolen fund, flying with stolen fund, snakes swallowing money, pythons swallowing money.
All right, let's take this call.
Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Please move away from your TV set or turn down the volume of your TV set.
Yes, Barrister on the line.
Barrister, good morning.
Good morning. I just want to say something on the just concluded election in Osun State.
Okay, go ahead.
I think INEC have actually done this country very bad. Because in the first place, there was no need to declare that the election inconclusive. I will take you to section 69 of the Electoral Act, which said that in an election to the office of President or Governor, whether or not contested, and in any contested election to any other elective office, the result shall be ascertained by counting the votes cast for each candidate and subject to the provisions of section 133, 134, and 179 of the Constitution. The candidate that receives the highest number of votes shall be declared elected by the appropriate returning officer.
Exactly.
So that section 69 of the Electoral Act is very clear. So last Saturday, the votes were counted, and the PDP candidate scored the highest votes. So we didn't get why he declared that election inconclusive, only to come up yesterday and say APC has won. APC government should take it easy, or Nigerians will react the way they will not like. Thank you.
All right,
thank you very much, Barrister. But then again, I ask, whose fault is it? Who's to be blamed?
Like I said, the court is there to interpret the Constitution. So PDP should go to court and challenge the results of the election. So talking about returning the looted funds now.
Yeah.
Several, we have had so many, billions of naira returned. Where are they? What did the federal government do with them?
Let's take this
telling us. So
Hello,
I see a kind of a hide and seek there. Okay, somebody.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I see a kind of hide and seek. I see if they are
sincere,
honest, if they are actually fighting corruption, it should be holistic. It should not be lopsided. And then they know the treasury looters. They should go get them, deal with them, let them return even this the clamor for minimum wage.
All right.
They can add the looted fund
together with
it to pay the workers.
All right. Hello. Good morning. Please, we need you to speak up. If you have to talk to us this morning, please speak up.
Okay, this is a call from Edo State.
A call from Edo State.
From Mama Israel.
Mama Israel.
So I'm enjoying your debate in the television. I'm very happy to enjoy it. So I want to contribute to that of INEC at Osun State.
Okay, Mama Israel, go ahead.
So this is our Nigeria. We don't know where we are going to. If you watch the way they are behaving, this present government, we don't know where we are going to. And it's not fair. Where two elephants suffer, the grass suffers. The grass is the one that is suffering. The Nigerians have suffered the way the APC government has dealing with the masses. People are dying. We don't know what happened. Even that should take the way they handle it, there is no one to handle the election. They should hand over to the people that won that election. That is what I want to tell you.
All right, thank you so much.
And also concerning our strike. The strike is comment. If I thought they said that we affect this salary, they are not paying the salary before. So let them continue with the strike. What they never said before? People have been dying before. Is it hunger that is not kill Nigeria before? People have been dying for hunger. So hunger will not kill anybody. Whether they pay, they not pay, whether they take out, they not pay salary, the strike will continue until they come to the truth of the matter. They have been carrying money. They even the looters. They said that they recover many money. Where are the money? They are saying there is no money in the country. What are they doing to the money? Okay. Corruption cannot be fighting corruption. If you look at the way they are fighting corruption, that is not the way to fight corruption in this our country.
All right, thank you so much, Mama.
Thank you very, very much. Okay,
just like the last caller said, in those days when we were much, much younger, civil servants used to be the envy of all. They owned the best buildings, they drive the best cars. But these days they can't even put food on their table.
Can't even pay for house rents, man.
Their take-home pay is balderdash, is kind of pittance, peanut. So I think the federal government should take into their aspiration and do the needful.
I probably will come and learn some of these English words.
All right, let's move on
to the next papers, the Punch newspaper. Stories making the headlines in the Punch newspapers. INEC declares APC Oyetola winner of Osun governorship election. PDP rejects poll result, says it's a black day for Nigeria. Election not free, fair or credible. CDD. Rerun is a show of shame. CUPP. I'll retrieve my stolen mandate at tribunal. Adeleke. Abuja 4 states at tremor hotspots. NASDA. APC NWC disqualifies Shitu over NYSC scandal. Postpones primary. Lagos Ibadan Railway, federal government directs contractor to engage Nigerian engineers. Buhari's COS meets labor leaders as strike paralyzes government business activities in Ondo, Kwara. Others. Fuel supply threatened as oil workers join action. Strike may delay civil servants' September salaries. AGF. Flooding kills 199, displaces 176,299. That's coming from NEMA. Hoodlums attack party secretariats, shoot policemen in Bayelsa. U.S. bodies predict electoral violence in Lagos, Rivers, Kano, others. Big story. We're still talking about the election, but let's move away a bit from the election and come to the NLC stuff. Strike may delay civil servant September salary. That's coming from the AGF.
Yeah, obviously, you see, the workers, they are the people preparing the payment voucher. They are working. Yeah, we have been talking about delaying the September salary of workers. If the strike trickles into 2019, you find out that it will even affect the 2019 general elections because the workers are the ones to do the job. So if they are not there, I mean, it spells doom for this country.
Already, fuel supply have been threatened because oil workers have joined the action too.
Of course. So even if it lasts for more than 3 days now, more, you find out that the country will be grounded. You can't even move out. You can't even buy fuel because the financial institutions that will join, all the filling stations, you can no longer buy fuel. Every other place will be shut down. And you'll find out that the country will be in a kind of coma. The country will be comatose.
We hope they actually get to resolve that.
And then you mentioned one about indigenous contractors or something like that. I think one of the headlines had to do with making use of indigenous contractors.
Yes, that's federal government directs contractors to engage Nigerian engineers.
Nigerian engineers, thank you. That's very, very expedient because we make use of expatriates. You see Nigerian engineers hovering about. And then you bring in white men to come and do the job. You see them supervising. Nigerians are doing the job. They are taking the money. It's even capital flights. The money that should be circulating within the country, they are taking to maybe China, maybe to England, maybe to America, any other place. So that clarion call should be here. But then, it borders on competence. You are given a job, you execute according to the specifications. And then let's make use of, Nigerian engineers. Let's empower them instead of leaving them wallowing in penury or abject poverty. Because of a lack of job.
Let's look at finally at U.S. bodies predict electoral violence in Lagos, Rivers, Kano, and others.
Electoral violence is like a song on everybody's lips. It's like the order of the day. It's like it's trending. When I hear such, it's no longer news. It's like hearing about killings here and there. Even when the federal government will tell you they've chased Boko Haram into the Lake Chad basin. We've conquered Boko Haram. Tomorrow you hear of 13 killed in that state, 17 killed in other places. So it's like electoral violence. It's the order of the day. I don't even know what to say there, but let me advise that the federal government should be alive to its responsibility. The primary assignment of governance is protection of lives and then property. And then INEC should live up to its expectation as well by toeing the path of the Constitution, provisions of the Constitution when conducting elections, so that they will help this country and help the nation's democracy to thrive and blossom.
All right, Abuja, 4 states earth tremor hotspots. That's coming from NASDA. Of course, recently they talked about that if care is not taken, earthquake will strike in Abuja and some other places.
Nigeria, lucky, blessed Nigeria when it comes to weather. I don't know. The earth tremor may be as a result of so many factors. That is why we will advise the federal government to encourage, afforestation, planting of trees to avoid deforestation, which is felling of trees. And then all these excavation, minings, and other things, they should devise the machinery or mechanism, to checkmate them or provide safety valves, to make sure that such things are done, because I want to believe that there are some of the remote causes of this earth tremor.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
let's move on to the next
paper, The Guardian. Banner headline: PDP kicks as APC clears Osun governorship rerun. Then we have the rider. Wants polls cancellation, Adeleke declared winner. Alleges vote rigging, bullying by APC thought security agencies. Poll not credible, says Observer Group. Looming population explosion to affect Nigeria adversely by 2050, US warns. Oil marketers urge government to pay alleged 650 billion naira debt. Why we formed League of Nigerian Columnists. Nigeria telecom sector loses 1.06 trillion to call masking, refilling, and others. Court summons EFCC banks over freezing of Benue account. Labour gives condition for ending strike. FG, okay, I think that's the much we have there.
All right, let me go to Otom, that's Benue State. Yeah, let me say the crisis bedeviled state. And you see, for the federal government to go and freeze the account, do you know what it means? It means salaries will not be paid, contractors will not be paid. It will simply cripple activities in that state. And why? Why should federal government single out Otom to freeze his account? I think it's a kind of political vendetta, kind of being unleashed on the state. So the federal government should please, allow the guy to operate. and then the fight against corruption or whatever should not be selective. That's because the guy, I think the other time they had a case of 8 members of the House of Assembly trying to impeach a sitting governor. And then security was provided to them by the federal government. I think that very drama is still playing out. And then they should, the federal government should know that every government, every governor, they all belong to Nigeria. And then there should be equity. So that when you want to go to equity, you go to equity with clean hands.
Clean hands, all right.
Yes. What is good for the goose
is good
is also good
for
the gander. So that let's not engage in a selective fight.
All right, let's talk about this one. Oil marketers urge government to pay alleged 650 billion naira debt.
Well, if the federal government is owing or indebted to any oil marketer, I think they should come to a round table, discuss, and find ways of settling. Of course, let them settle. It's as simple as that.
All right. All right. Still talking about labor giving condition for ending of the strike.
Yeah. Labor must drive home its demand. The condition should be, I don't know the conditionalities, they've spelled out anyway. But then, of course, for embarking on the strike action in the first place, there must be a result. Because from an object to act, there must be a sensitive object to act upon. Okay. You know, there must be a reaction to action and action to a reaction. Kind of. So that will be the outcome of the strike is for the federal government to have meet somewhere with the labor. Maybe labor is asking for 56 point something, maybe 56,900.
But I think they've
500 minimum wage. And then federal government can say, okay,
this is what we can offer.
We'll pay 56,000, or we'll pay 40,000, or we'll pay so X, Y,
I don't even think the federal government is going that high.
Or X, Y, Z amount.
They're coming much more lower. I think probably to 20 something.
Yeah, but they need to tell us what they have.
Of course, if it goes down well with the level, okay, they can call off the strike. If it doesn't go down well with the level, they can still go back to the negotiating table and continue to negotiate with the federal government.
Let me ask this question. I think I've seen it often than not, that when issues like this happen, that labor goes on strike, after some few days, the federal government gets to call some set of people, or people, that actually looking towards the people who are the aims of affairs of this labor party, and probably talk to them, give them some stuff, and before they call off the strike.
Okay, kind of gratification.
Yes, and at the end of the day,
it's up to labor if you mortgage your future. This is like mortgaging your future.
Because I feel this is not the first time they've gone on strike. So what exactly?
The problem here is labor being
sincere. Because at the end of the day, I think some set of people probably, could get this chunk of money and like, okay, you know what? Let's just call off the strike. We've talked with them. They said, okay, we should give them this particular time that they will do something. And at the end of the day, it's still the same old story.
It behoves labor to live up to expectation, to be honest, to uphold sincerity, or to go down the drain, to mortgage their future, to maybe do the part of, how do I put it now? The part of the other way around.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning.
Let's take this guy. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Please speak up.
Good morning. I call again.
Oh, Mama Israel.
The negotiation is not right to negotiate. They have been negotiating in 2016. They are not ready. This government, they are not ready to do anything. What the labor will do, they should not accept any bribe from anybody.
Yeah.
Labor should not allow them to do their Ghana must go. They should not accept any bribe. Let the strike continue until they realize that their punishment here. If they know that they cannot leave the country, they can leave the country alone. And that of PDP in Osun State, they should hand over to PDP. PDP is the one that won that Osun State. People, they should be negotiating. This is not the right thing to be negotiating. negotiate. People are suffering. People are suffering. They are suffered. They know. They are suffering. No food to eat. Nothing. If you go to the market, you cannot buy anything. You understand? So they should do something good. Even national leader of APC, national chairman, Adamu Shomoni
national chairman
in Nigeria alone. He has destroyed Nigeria alone. He should live in Nigeria. He's the one that is causing this problem. If election will not be held in Nigeria again, nothing. Even though no minimum wage, nothing, but we set it easy. Let me tell you, when God you, that is what
it's God.
Thank you so
yes,
much.
You know, the national chairman of APC, Adams Oshomole, used to be the national, president of NLC.
When I know him
I
that
think
time,
he's in a better position to advise the federal government, you know, to hearken to the clarion call of the Labour leaders.
I think there's always this saying that when you
arrive at a reasonable conclusion, you know, there must be negotiation.
But there's
of course,
there must be negotiation. Saying that when you give a
peaceful dialogue,
yes,
you know, to achieve, maybe because of 1, 2, 3, 4 reasons, we can pay this amount. Because of we cannot pay this amount. Based on that, take this amount, and then Labour will look at it. If it goes down well with Labour, they will now say, okay, we'll now call off the strike. But whereby they call out the entire workforce, and at the end of the day, maybe like you said, go and look the other way by accepting gratification. I think it's deceitful, and I don't see Labour, you know, burying its the Labour leaders now, sinking their integrity to toe that path. I don't think it will get to that.
Well, you know, we okay, just like the last caller talked about the chairman of the APC, Adams Oshomole. I know, I used to know him, you know, when he used to be the Labour leader. So strong, so agile, so outspoken, you know. It got to a point that the federal government was scared of Oshomole when it comes to the issue of labor, and you know he was always speaking up. But then, like I wanted to say before you know we're trying to explain it, that you know when you give a man money, power, and money, of course you get to see who this Oshomole has lived away from being the labor leader to being the governor, and of course too many things. He
is now a politician.
Yeah, a politician.
And being a politician now, he will be on the side of the politicians. That's that. But
then he can still give advice to the federal government.
As ex-Labour leader, I think APC will even be grateful having somebody like him in their midst. He will simply come and say, it should be this way, it should be this way, it should be this way. These are the consequences of this election, of this strike action. If it's prolonged, if it's allowed to linger, please, let's do this, let's handle it this way. And at the end of the day,
but sincerely,
they will strike a balance.
Sincerely,
that's what I'm expecting.
Let me ask you as
it borders on integrity.
Yes. let me ask you as someone who probably has been in the labor issues, and you know the nitty gritty. Now, we know the minimum wage to be 18,000, right?
Yeah, 18,000.
And this is not the first time, like we said, that the NLC is probably talking about this, going on strike and stuff. Why do we even think now it's going to be positive?
Well, I think hope is the eternal elixir that keeps everybody going. We are not hopeful, when you are not optimistic, you are on the opposite side. So, for embarking on the strike in the first place,
it's a good
definitely something good must come out of it. Otherwise, it will be an effort in futility. Then you shouldn't have embarked on it in the first place. So, Labour must try and drive home its point by achieving something beyond the present 18,000 naira minimum wage, so that it doesn't be an effort in futility.
Just like the last caller talked about, it's PDP that won in Osun State, before the rerun election, that they should give it to PDP. The APC is doing this, doing that, doing the other one. But then again, let's look at this, critically. Who are those in APC? Who are those in PDP? Are these not the same people who are interchanging and defecting? What hope? Because the truth is, what we talk about, let's give it to PDP, let's give it to APC. Who are the same people? I mean, PDP, for example, or she's in APC, for example, the day it doesn't favor her, she comes to PDP.
Yeah.
The day it doesn't favor me, I go back to APC.
Yes.
At the end of the day, what are we?
It's very simple. It's like a new wine in an old wine skin, or a new wine in a new wine skin. They keep defecting, born out of pecuniary interest. When you need a choice office, and it's no longer there. When what you need is no longer there, you defect to another party.
Well, I think people are tired of hearing APC. You know, like the Mama Israel was saying.
You know what?
They were all in PDP.
What?
Before they defected to APC. So it's like they are the same.
You get so when you talk about
when you
talk about
I
said it's like a new wine
in a new
wine
skin.
Okay, sometimes they don't know what to do again.
In a new wine skin. So it's like I see them as they are now pursuing pecuniary interest. They are not doing it.
It's not. Yes, that's why I'm not. Is it?
They are not doing it based on party ideologies. You know, political party has ideology.
Okay.
When your ideologies is not in sync with your own ideas, you can now defect based on interest of the generality of the people.
Anyway, that's for the politicians. That's for the politicians because Mama Israel that called, she's just an electorate. So people, when they are tired of hearing of a particular political party, they don't know what else to do. The next thing is that let's try another political
party. When you talk about people are tired of APC, people are more tired of PDP. Let's not go there. Because when we talk about these are the two leading parties in Nigeria when we talk about politics. Because yes, there were some other people that contested in Osun State. By the end of the day, it was between PDP and APC.
No, one thing you will understand is that change is permanent. Change is permanent. Every other thing is transient, apart from change. So, APC is in charge now. Everybody is complaining. This strike is ongoing. Killings here and there. Electoral violence here and there. Then people will want to say, let's try something new. We are tired of this XYZ. Let's go to BXF or the other one. So, that's what is playing out. Maybe based on what is happening now in the country, PDP will now try and defect. You know, in opposition, like politicians, they should see opposition as a mirror. Like when you are doing something and I'm criticizing you, just look at what I'm saying. It gives you room for improvement. So APC, if they are listening to the criticism, constructive criticism, you know, coming from different quarters, it gives them room to improve. But whereby they don't want to improve, people will now say, we are tired of this government. Let's try something new. That's exactly what is playing out.
All right. We want to say very, very big thank you to Mr. Roy Ekwunefe, the journalist, the actor, the public affairs analyst. He says we should not call him a public treasury looter. Many thanks for joining us.
I can only loot fashion treasury.
Fashion
Financial treasury.
Okay, the fashion looter.
You can call me fashion treasury looter.
All right.
I accept that.
All right, thank you for joining us on the program.
Yeah,
thank you.
All right, well, this is the much we have for you on Newspaper Headline on a beautiful, cozy and cold Friday morning.
It's not cold, actually.
Really? It was raining heavily today, you remember? Like the weather was all...
Yeah, but it was cool, but not cold.
Not cold. All right, you tell me more about that. All right, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.